What's going on, guys?
Hey!
Happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Hope you guys all had a great day today. Melissa and I hit the beach today with our kids. Kind of a last minute gig.
It's supposed to be raining all day, so we hit the coast that was not supposed to get this
That's
much rain.
it.
So.
The West Coast down here in Florida. So we didn't get rained out. It was a good day, so we had a lot of fun.
Found some shark teeth.
We did. We went to the Shark Tooth capital, or the Shark Tooth
It's
beach.
a beach, yeah. It's known for it.
Of Florida. So we had a blast with that. So anyways, hopefully you guys had a spectacular day. Hopefully you took some time off, got some rest, relaxation, that kind of stuff. So we're back again on Monday. We want to do this Q&A, give you guys some questions, some answers on what's going on in the flipper world.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and
we get questions all the time. And we want to just start going through and answering some of them. And we're in it every day, so we want to be there.
For sure. So we'll go ahead and read the question. I'll give you guys a recap on our week, how the week went, and then please, while we're going through all this stuff, guys, throw us your comments. Let us know how you did this week. If you're able to get back out there and source, if your thrift stores are open.
Who can source right now? So let us know. If your stuff's still closed, and if you're sourcing, did you get anything? Did you find anything?
Our flea market opened back up a week and a half ago. I have not been able to get there yet. The weekends have been busy for us. So, we have not been able to get back to the flea market.
Which surprises me that you haven't been there yet.
It's all right. I'm still overwhelmed with that last thing that I bought, the monster stuff. So we are. I'm trying
He's still inventorying it.
Yeah, I'm trying to calm down a little bit before we go out and buy some more stuff. So, anyways, but our flea market is back open. Our local thrift stores are opening back up. So we have been able to do some sourcing other than the apps. Let us know how you guys are doing out there. If that has happened for you guys, if you guys have that option now to source locally at the thrift stores, yard sales, flea markets, that kind of stuff.
Rebecca said all closed in Chicago area. So,
oh no!
Yeah. But still the apps, you can still source and be safe. And local pickup and Lysol, everything. You can still do that through Facebook and Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. So that is another option.
Our apps never went down through this whole process, so we were able to do it through the apps. But now, just recently, our other venues have opened back up, which is cool. That's awesome. So I'm sure you guys are not that far behind. Trust me, it's coming soon. So,
do we read the question and then are we going to dive in, or I'll read the question that we're going to go through? So, we're going to talk about. We had this question from Heather. How do I calculate my profit on eBay with all of the fees? So we're going to dive into that a little bit. So in just a minute.
We get lots of questions about fees, lots of questions. Is it worth it to sell on eBay? Is it worth it to sell on eBay? eBay charges fees, local venues, OfferUp, Let Go, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. None of those places charge fees. So you don't have to pay that when you're selling an item, when you're listing an item, anything like that. So when is eBay worth it? So we're going to dive into that in just a minute. But we are going to talk about first, we'll actually go into our week. We only had one sale this last week. It would have been a great sale, but the lady emailed me right after she bought it. She paid for it, and she said, hey, I thought this was a new, it was actually a teak patio set. So she said, I thought it was a brand new set. Could you please refund me? I don't want the set because I thought it was brand new. So anyways, when that happens, it does happen sometimes. Very rarely does it happen because you can tell our pictures are not brand new from a store, that kind of stuff. And never do we promise anything brand new. It's usually used stuff. Anyways, so she did it. We refunded it back. We relisted it. No big deal. But that was our only sale this week. Not a huge selling week, but you guys have to remember too, I have not listed
in a couple weeks
and probably a month and a half at least. So we're still just, everything that's been selling has been listed, which is awesome, but I have not poured any time into the business over and beyond what we've already had listed. So for us, stuff's not moving right this second. I was just fulfilling stuff at the end of last week. So I took a break pretty much after I got everything palleted up, got all that stuff freight shipped. I wanted to take a break. So now we're diving back into it tomorrow.
Yeah, this week's been a little bit laid back of a week. So.
It is. But when I hit the ground running tomorrow, I got to get out, get this stuff inventory that we bought a week and a half ago, and then get some more stuff listed that we have over at the warehouse. So that's what's going on here. That's what we're up to. So a great week ahead of us. Hopefully you guys, like I said, have had a great week this last week and got some cool stuff in. We'll go through it again. Whatever you guys have questions while we're going through questions right now, the question that we're talking about tonight, please throw them in the comments. Let us know anything that you guys need help on. We're here to answer questions for you guys as well.
Yeah. Do you want to dive in?
Sure.
All right. So just to reiterate, how do I calculate my profit on eBay after all the fees? So that's a huge question that we get asked a lot too. Is it, when is it worth it after all the fees? I don't want to, you get that bill at the end of the month. You're like, oh, what are all these fees? So you want to make sure you're still making a profit on the items.
Yep.
So the easiest way to calculate it is for eBay, it's generic 10%. Like they're a little bit different for each category, but if you can just kind of round it to 10% is what you're going to pay eBay, that's going to be your final value fee.
Exactly.
And then another 3% for PayPal. So that's it. We kind of just average 13% is what we go into our item, and then we know what we have into the item, the 13% of the sale price, and then the rest is profit. So
yep. And a lot of people are like, that is crazy. We cannot pay an extra 13% on top of our stuff.
Right.
We touched a little bit on this last week, guys. eBay is the only venue right now that you can get that type of exposure. You cannot get any other. There's some up and coming venues that are getting there, but still eBay by far has been around the longest. So that's where you get the most. I think last time I looked, it had 181 million registered users on eBay. When you're listing locally, don't get me wrong, listing locally, we still do it. We cross-post. It's a great place to list and sell stuff because you don't have to pay those fees. But when you are listing locally, guys, you're only reaching your local market, which is limited to usually 40, 60,000 people are the only people who are seeing that. On eBay, 181 million registered users. That means you have a bigger population of people looking for that exact item that you are selling. And when you're willing to ship it, it will go to a lot more people. So that's why it is worth paying the eBay fees. They might seem a little bit high, but you cannot get that kind of exposure anywhere else that we're aware of to sell the kind of stuff that we sell. So you just have to be prepared for those. You have to know going into it, you're going to spend 10 to 13% on top of whatever you're selling it for. Now, for us, it doesn't do anything to us because we're selling items, higher profit items. We're not paying very much for the items, and we have a huge markup on them. So 10%, 13%, 15% still is not that big of a deal to us. We can give up that extra money to be able to sell the items quicker and get it out to those people who are able to look at it. And
you can charge more when it's on eBay versus local market. So local market, one example we like to use is like a stroller. So we might have a brand of stroller that maybe we can get $150 locally for it, but maybe on eBay we're going to be able to get almost $300 because we're willing to ship it. So you can ask more, and those cover your fees, and and that helps a lot. So
another thing to think about is when you're selling on eBay, brands are everything. Yeah. So a brand like an Even Flow, a Graco stroller that you might get for say $20, $25. The resale on the retail on that stroller might be $150, $200. That doesn't make a lot of sense to sell it on eBay because the people are going to have to pay close to $45, $50 for shipping on that. And if you're charging $50 for it, $50, $75 for it, you're getting up there to what retail is, and people just won't pay that markup on it. Now, when you're dealing with a stroller that's worth $750, $1,000, $1,400, high-end strollers that people people will pay the money for shipping because they're getting a great deal on it. Now, a $750 stroller you might be able to sell for $300 or $400. Which they will pay the extra money
to save that much money.
That's it, $30 or $50 on shipping because you're still way under retail. So always be thinking about that when you're going into it. Now, we don't do those low ticket items. We don't sell thousands and thousands of items on eBay. Last year, I think we sold what, 80? Was it 80 or 100? 80 items on eBay for the whole year. That's all we sold. But they're higher ticket items, and they have a higher markup up for us.
That was for $79,000. So
$79,000.
The average sale was $1,000.
Exactly, for 80 some sales last year. So that just goes to show you when you're selling the higher ticket items, when you're selling the higher margin profit items, you can sell it on eBay, and you can afford to pay a little bit of money out for the seller fee, the seller's fees, and the through PayPal, the actual transaction fee through PayPal. So.
So that's something to think about when you're going to look up your item. Like, so you're thinking about buying this item. You go look up at the comps on eBay. Okay, they're selling for this. I'm going to go figure my 13% is going to be fees. So if I'm paying this amount of money, what's my profit going to be? So you can kind of figure that out.
Calculate it.
Yeah, calculate it before you even purchase the item. So you know about what your profit's going to be.
Yep.
And then sometimes it makes more sense to sell it locally than it does on eBay. It just depends on the item and the size.
And local sales are not bad.
No.
Trust me. If you
don't
can
have to
buy
deal with the shipping and the fees, and we do them too. So.
If you can buy a stroller for $20 or $25, and then you can sell it locally for $75 to $100 because it's a $200 stroller. Right. Yeah, you can do that all day long. We even do that sometimes. But we try to look for the higher end strollers that we can get them onto eBay to the people who are willing to pay more money for them because it has a higher retail value. So, but when you need money, I mean, you pay $20 for something, you sell it for $100, $75. And sometimes you can list those things and sell them super quick on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist, on OfferUp. Those things will go a lot quicker. You can sell them within a day or two sometimes, and that money's quick in your pocket. You do a couple of those, man, you're up to a couple $100 a week. You can do that, and it's not that hard to do it.
And one fees that we didn't mention also are listing fees. So that's that can be another fee that you have. Like you can pay extra for a subtitle. You can pay for promotions.
Yeah.
We don't typically do any of those extra fees. Listing, you get. They run promotions all the time, so 50 to 100 or what? Like
with a store, it's about 100 listings.
But you can get more with promotions they have, so you'll get those free listings anyway. So you don't have to pay to list the item. It's usually a cut like 10, 20, 30 cents. So I didn't know
we don't pay anything for our listings. Every once in a while, we'll do a promotional listings where we'll do 1% of whatever the item is listed for.
Shout out to Matt.
Yeah, Matt is the one who did that. But yeah, so that we'll do that sometimes where we'll just be able to put 1% in there. It's supposed to give it more exposure. eBay's supposed to show it to more people, and you're going to pay 1% on the back end once it sells. If it does sell with the promotion, exactly. So if it doesn't, not a big deal. Like I said, yeah, sometimes we will do that, but that's nothing on the front end. We're not paying anything on the front end for the listing fee. Like highlighted, bold titles, that kind of stuff. We don't do any of that stuff. We just do the normal listings, and that's how we've always done it. We don't pay anything on the front end, only on the back end. So you can do it. I mean, you guys might have some great luck with doing that kind of stuff, but we just don't. We try and give as least as possible out of pocket, especially on the front end, because on the front end you're paying it before it even sells. The back end, you're getting paid for it before you have to pay those fees. So if that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah. Let's go. We had a couple of great questions, so let me run back here and see what we have. What city are you guys sourcing in?
We're down here right outside of Orlando, so a lot of our sourcing is coming from Orlando.
Do you ever price for free shipping?
Always.
Most of the time. I actually pay for list it with shipping.
Yeah. So most of my stuff that I list, we do even on freight shipping. We do free shipping on freight. That's just how I like to do it. My thought process behind that is if I'm shopping for something, I don't want to email the buyer and say, hey, how much is it going to be to freight ship it to me? If I put in there either a flat rate for freight and then the buyer can jump on there and be like, all right, I know it's going to be $2,000. It's going to be $250 for shipping. I'm going to go ahead and jump on this and I'm going to buy it right now. That's if you do flat rate. On the other end of it, go free shipping and it's built into your price. I do that a lot. A lot of my stuff is free shipping on freight just because I know what it's going to cost me to ship from us to the other end of the United States. I know exactly what I'm going to pay for that, so I can build it into the price. Most of our items we don't pay that much money for, so I have a huge markup that I can afford to pay a couple $100 on freight.
Yeah. Do you base your local listing prices, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, etc., of the net profit you would get from eBay? Sometimes, and like even whenever I get
we'll discount it.
An offer, like a local offer, I'm like, okay, well that's pretty much what minus my fees. So I usually do price it a little. We maybe take 50, like say it's a stroller, 50, 60 bucks off.
Yep.
Right away the price. And I do on Facebook, I still like to leave room for negotiation because I know people want a deal. So I don't list it usually as high as I have it on eBay, but I still leave some wiggle room. So I want there to be, I can come down 20, 30 bucks and I'm still getting the profit that I'm looking for. So.
Exactly.
Do you, any fees less if you have an eBay store? Yeah, you get a certain number of eBay or listing fees included,
and it's capped. And
that's one thing that why we have the eBay store too. It's capped at $350. So if you sell,
it used to be $250, but they just raised it. So if you're selling items for $3,500, which a lot of our items are $3,500 up to $10,000, we're only going to pay that $350. It's capped for that. So even if it might be 5% of the selling price, we're only paying the $350 for the final value fee versus a 10%. Right. So that's why we do it.
Yeah, because it actually doesn't make sense for us to have a store for the volume that we do. If you do high volume, it definitely makes sense because you get so many listings a month, depending on what store you have. But for us, we average around 100 listings a month, listed at a time. So it didn't really make sense. But for that capping fee, it definitely makes sense. It's paid for itself every year.
Yep.
So, how do you calculate the shipping and insurance for the listing if you're just starting out and don't have a scale without having to go back and forth with the post office? I would get a scale if you can. I mean, it's really just about, you don't need a fancy one, just a bathroom scale. Yeah, you don't need a fancy, male scale or anything.
Or Amazon. I'm sure you can get any type of scale on Amazon for like $10. It's not going to be that difficult to do that. They'll probably go up to 100 pounds and maybe even cheaper if you just need to go up to, if you're doing smaller stuff.
You get a food scale.
You really need to know, so you don't lose money. You need to know your weight and dimensions of the package when you're starting out, because you want to do calculated shipping on it. You do not want to lose money on shipping. That's what we tell everybody. You want to do calculated shipping starting out until you get a feel for how much it costs you to ship stuff. Then you can do free shipping.
Or flat rate.
Flat rate shipping, whatever you want to do, so you're not going to lose money. You can build it into the price and do free shipping. Or like Melissa said, flat rate, you can do that as well. But in the beginning, you definitely want to start knowing, not taking a risk. You want to have your weight and your dimensions so you can sell the item with that ahead of time, so the buyer knows that they're going to pay this for shipping.
Let's see. Ron said I listed my double stroller for $400, $399 free shipping on eBay, but only $300 on Facebook Marketplace, and so negotiated $275.
That's awesome.
Calculated ship. Yep, that's perfect.
Yeah, well, we actually wanted to highlight you this week.
I know,
Ron,
we even said that we wanted to highlight a Flipper U member this week, and we're like, well, Ron just sold that stroller.
So Ron kicked it. For you guys that don't know, who are not in Flipper U, Ron's in Flipper U. He bought a stroller this week for $25,
$30.
$30, paid $10.
Put $10 into it.
So whatever that was, he did that, and then he sold it for $275 locally on Facebook Marketplace.
Awesome.
So you rock, Ron. That's awesome.
Sold it in one day.
That is awesome, and you love those flips. I mean, that's just creating money, and that's what we love to do. So great job, Ron. You are our highlighted Flipper U this week. So good job.
Awesome. Do you ship internationally on eBay?
We do, but only through, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me and want me to do it outside of global shipping, but we don't do it. It's all through global shipping. It's the safest way to do it. They take care of customs. They take care of all that stuff. So when you're able to, use global shipping for sure. New members on eBay, they might not allow you to do it. But people who are veterans, you have to go in and you have to make sure global shipping is clicked. And then they'll allow you to do it. So yes, I was weary at first. I didn't want to do global shipping. But then after a while, we actually did it, and I sold a lot of stuff out of the country. eBay takes care of all of it. So it's the way to go.
Because you're just responsible for getting the item to Kentucky, to our local hub. So then they take care of all the extra of getting it to where it needs to go, and the buyer is paying that extra. So they end up paying whatever the difference is. So you might not even see it, but that's what they're paying for it to get to them. And then eBay handles all of it, so you don't have to worry about it.
Totally worth it. If you guys are not into global shipping and you're selling on eBay, definitely jump into it. Because it'll just open the door for more sales for you.
And some items might not be eligible, like some of the freight items, although we did have that one.
We've done a couple of them.
Go freight, and then they say, oh, sorry, it can't keep going, and they keep it there. So they must have an auction house there. They pay us both out, and
that's a story for another day. But anyways, just make sure it is eligible for global shipping when you're selling it. And you, like I said, if
you're just responsible to get it to Kentucky, and then they take it on from
there. That's it. They do all customs. They do all the paperwork. They do the duties or whatever else is involved in that. It's the best way to go for sure.
I almost have 3 Phil and Ted double strollers in very good condition. I picked up from hire and pick up. Awesome. How would you suggest I price for it? I think I would post in my mom's groups first before posting on other platforms.
Sure. Phil and Ted, we've sold a couple of Phil and Ted strollers. That's where the seats in the front, it's got the little like a luggage seat in the back for the second one.
Strollers you can get for a double.
They're really cool. They're cool strollers. So I would check the pricing for whatever brands you have. I check them on eBay. And then
whatever models. And the year. Check the year.
See what they're going for on eBay, and then price accordingly locally. No, you don't have to ship it. You don't have to do the fees and stuff like that. So you can take $50 or $60 off of it if you're going to sell it on eBay versus the local market. So
we sold a couple on eBay.
We have. We've sold a local too. So it all depends. And we're huge proponents, thank you, of listing both places, eBay and
cross-posting.
A lot of people tell us, hey, what do we do if it sells on one or the other? Just delete it off of the other, whatever it is. eBay's not going to kill you if you take it off, and you can even put in your description if you want, this is cross-posted. So it will be deleted if it sells locally or anything like that. So by all means, I would list it in multiple venues so you have even a quicker way, a quicker opportunity to sell it.
Those ones package up pretty quick.
Phil and Ted's you can ship. They're not that bad. We just shipped one out not even a month or two ago. And I think I still even have one more Phil and Ted. It might be in storage.
Probably.
So Phil and Ted's cool. They're in the usually retail and Phil and Ted's are if I'm not mistaken, I think it's up there in the $500-600 range.
So I think
depending on models.
For like 2 or 3, 200.
Yeah.
It depends on if you have both seats or whatnot. So whatever parts and pieces that you have, and make sure when you list it, if you do list it on eBay, that you list it. If you have 2 seats, that you say you have 2 seats, or if you have 1, that you only have 1, so that people don't. Know,
use all your pictures. Definitely use all your pictures. 12 pictures if you're
they're getting all the added on things. So, I just sold my first item. I did buyer pay shipping. I put the weight and dimensions in. When I entered the item, I printed the label through eBay. When I printed the label at USPS, charged me about $8 less than what it appears eBay held from the buyer. Does eBay correct that automatically?
No, they don't. And it's possible you have to go back and check and see if you have handling on that, because you can't add extra for handling. And eBay might allow the handling in there for the $8. So there's a couple different things. Like I said, you have to go back and check your listing, see if you had the extra money for handling, because eBay will add that in. The other thing is there's different types of, if you use, did you say USPS? Yeah. There's different types of services with USPS. And if you use priority versus first class versus all these different things, your buyer might have selected one service, and it might have been cheaper for you to ship a different service, and that might have been how you did it. So it might have had a discount that way as well. For us, I know shipping lately with I think it is priority through USPS. They're giving us huge discounts to ship second day air versus normal priority. And they're giving us, some of them are like $20 and $30 off of the shipping label to do that. And like I said, your buyer, depending on what they selected, that's what you got paid out for it. For the shipping label. So, and they might not have calculated eBay's discount as well, because you might have saved $8 because of eBay's discount, and the buyer doesn't see that when they're actually doing it. eBay's giving them the full amount that they're going to have to pay for shipping. So hopefully that makes sense. It is kind of confusing, but no, eBay won't go back and pull the money out of your account or anything like that when it's done. Once they pay for the shipping, it's in your account. That money's yours. You're responsible for printing the label, and then eBay charges you for the label. USPS, they actually charge you right away when you print the label. FedEx, it doesn't. It comes
out of your account.
At the end of the month when they charge you for your fees, that's when the FedEx labels actually get billed out through your eBay account.
So there's one thing to note too. Make sure that you do select the right one according to what the buyer picked, unless it's faster. If it's, in some cases it is. It's cheaper to ship faster, and the buyer will be appreciative for it. Right. And so we've done that before. And we'll go with the cheaper one as long as it's the same time frame. But you don't want to have somebody pick 2 days and then they get it in 5 days.
Exactly.
So, but if you can make it faster and it's cheaper or whatever, do that for sure.
Because you're getting that option when you're printing the label too.
Right.
You can go the cheapest, or you can go with whatever. You have to make sure that your buyer selected. You're not shipping in a different way than your buyer selected, unless it's a faster for them and it's cheaper for you. That's the only time you do that. Which for shoes, I know Bo does that all the time.
He'll get it faster.
Yeah, exactly. He's able to do it faster.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Ron was saying he's currently working on Life Fitness, and he had the comps for roughly 1,100 plus 13%, and then shipping. And net profit would be about $450. So yeah, it's good to know that, like what you're getting into. That's a good example right
there. For sure.
Awesome. I think, hold on, sorry. I'm trying to catch up on all these. Would the year of the Phil and Ted stroller be found on the manufacturing tag at the bottom of the stroller, or do I just go match the color style to it on eBay?
It should actually be on the stroller itself. I don't remember if Phil and Ted does a date code. I don't think they do. I think you will find the actual date on the stroller somewhere. Usually it's on the back axle or on one of the side posts from the axle going up. But look around and see if you can find it. You definitely want to know it. Worst comes to worst, you call Phil and Ted and say, hey, this is my model and serial number. I need to find out what's the manufacturing month and year, and they'll give it to you. But I'm pretty sure Phil and Ted, I think Up a Baby, you have to call them to get the date code. There's a couple higher end strollers that you actually have to call the manufacturer, and they'll give you what the date is from the date code. I don't think Phil and Ted's that way. I'm pretty sure it's printed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's printed somewhere on there, or even the tag on the bottom of the seat. It should have a date somewhere on there. So just look closely at all the tags and any stickers on the.
If there's a long number, sometimes you can just take that and put the name Phil and Ted and Google that number, and the year might come up. So But yeah,
people want to know that though.
They do.
You have to know what year it is when you're selling it. People want to know that. They want to know how old it is. So something you definitely have to find out.
Yeah. Donna said she didn't mean to overcharge anyone for her the label.
Yeah, and that's what I'm telling you. You might not have overcharged them.
Right.
If you put calculated shipping in there, eBay charged the right amount for it, but for whatever reason that was, eBay didn't take into account that you got a discount from them, and that might cover your packaging fees, your box, your material. So no, you didn't do anything wrong. Don't take that the wrong way. That might have just been how eBay calculated it for them, and then that's what they paid you out for. Or like I said, the services might be different for that. So,
and if you ever feel like they paid too much and you didn't have to pay, you can always do a partial refund.
Exactly.
If you feel like you should, or and if it's $1 or $2, I mean, okay, that goes into packaging, whatever the materials, so it's not that big of a deal. But if you feel like it's a significant number, you can always do a partial refund in PayPal for that amount and just send them a message.
Your buyer will be very appreciative if they're getting money back. So trust me.
Say it didn't cost as much as I thought, and you can send them a partial refund through PayPal. So if you want to. So, what are the steps to adjust your listing when the buyer lives close enough to drive the item to their house? You've done that once before.
This is actually pretty cool because this is brand new. They're doing a brand new system right now for eBay. Has it rolled out yet?
3 weeks ago.
It is rolled out. If you have local pickup, when you actually go through and set your listings, you have the option to put local pickup, flat rate shipping. You can click local pickup, and then you can also charge them a flat rate or free shipping for people that are locally. eBay is just now starting to do the, what is it, IR?
QR code.
QR, sorry. The QR code that when you go to pick it up, you can have them scan your phone. So eBay can see there's a transaction. So it's just like a tracking record. I mean, a tracking number that eBay has. Delivered, exactly. So eBay can see their phone tracked or hit your phone for the QR code. And then, it shows that it was picked up.
We haven't done this yet, but I think it's the buyer that gets the code, so you have to scan it. So I might be wrong on that, but that you would have to scan it with your phone. Most, like our iPhones are a QR code reader too. They're just with the camera, and you would just scan it, and then that QR code would be like your tracking number was uploaded.
So that's pretty cool. eBay is making that available for you because they can't track it when you do local pickup with the tracking number. So in the past, we've always done it. I've done it to where I've met somebody. I've had them actually shoot me a message while I'm right there in front of them saying, hey, I received the item. Thanks for meeting me or something like that. I've had them do that. I also print a picture out of the eBay listing, and then I put received by and make whoever picks it up, the buyer, sign that they got it. I always take a picture of their license plate to show that I was there, they were there. So I have all that proof. I've done all that stuff in the past. You just want to have as much proof as you can if you're doing a transaction like that.
Right now, while this code is new.
Yeah, for sure.
I would totally do that.
Print it out, have them sign it, date, the date of the signature, all that kind of stuff. And I would get a picture of their truck, their vehicle, their license plate when they're picking it up. Tell them just so you have proof that they actually met up with you.
And as far as adjusting your listing for shipping, if they're, meeting you and you're right in your local area, then, you can take off shipping or whatever. But we've had people that are like an hour or two away that still want it delivered, and it's not really worth us palleting up something or boxing up something. So you've driven it to them, but we still charge the shipping because it's
our
an
time.
hour or two of our time plus gas, whatever. So we still charge the shipping. It just, you didn't have to box up or pallet it up. So,
we just did that a couple weeks ago. We actually drove something from Orlando down to Miami. Somebody bought an exercise machine in Miami versus me palleting it up, taking it to, plus I can get it to them in a day versus having shipping take 3 days to get it down to them. So like I said, there's always other little ways to do stuff, but just think about that when you're selling for sure.
But then if somebody asks, I'm going to come pick it up and they want the shipping removed, you can do that in the listing before they, most people, when they do pick it up, they're not going to pay you until they get the item. So you can expect that. So that's something.
Some people will pay right away. They'll pay through PayPal because they're using credit on PayPal or whatever they're doing for whatever reason. Because even that guy that we delivered that one to in Miami, he paid through PayPal. So it all depends on what they want to do, but that's how it's going to work. Whatever they want to do.
Have you had anyone say that you didn't deliver when you did?
Never. I've never had that happen. So, but there are people out there that it might happen. Stories. So that's why we try to take all the precautions to make sure it doesn't happen to us. But we've never had anybody do that.
Yeah. How would you ship something really large like a pool table?
Freight. Yeah, that's what we do.
On a pallet. Ship it or strap it down to a pallet. Ship it freight.
Yep.
Are you all able to speak towards a PayPal eBay relationship change? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's coming soon.
And how that might affect calculations. Yeah, is eBay changing payment platforms. They had announced a year or two ago that they were changing to Adyen, but then we didn't hear anything else about it. So now this whole,
it's going to be in-house.
They're going to be in-house payments, which is going to be interesting. I mean, it's what Mercari does.
Yeah.
So
they'll still be fees no matter what, because they have to pay the.
It's a payment processor. Yeah. So it should be similar. We'll see how the whole thing goes. I mean, we'll just kind of go with the flow as it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, but there'll still be fees associated with it. But yeah.
No, we don't know. Honestly, we don't know. We don't know what to expect. We'll find out when it happens.
Yep. We'll get to
but it's coming soon.
Yep. Play soon. Do you think it would be cheaper to ship 2 nightstands individually or wrap them together?
It depends on the size of the nightstands. We've shipped them both ways, believe it or not. We've shipped them on a pallet together through freight, and we've shipped them in boxes.
In boxes in FedEx. So.
It's safer to go through have them together on one pallet. It's safer to ship it that way than through boxes, through UPS or FedEx. But like I said, it just depends. It depends on which way you want to do it. And I would get the calculations on both of them. We sometimes have to compare them.
Which
FedEx,
is going to be cheaper.
Yeah, FedEx one at a time or on a pallet through freight. So we'll do both when we're shipping that.
Yeah, but those are something that's kind of right on the edge.
It is.
Sometimes it can make it under the 130 inches for FedEx, and then sometimes they have to go on a pallet, and it just depends on the cost too.
Yep.
Would you take the legs off the pool table or ship as it is?
Pool tables usually are 3 pieces of slate. I personally, if I sold it, I probably would break it down to the slate, the 3 pieces, and make sure the buyer knows it's going to come in pieces, and they're going to have to reinstall the fabric or felt on it. Because all pool tables are made to break down. And if it is a slate table, that there are 3 sections of it on there. You can stack those on one thing, and you can get that on a little bit larger than a normal pallet. And then I'd take it all apart, to be honest with you. I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't just ship it. You could ship it on a pallet, but you're going to pay more money because the legs, it's taking up a lot more space to do it that way. Or you could just take the legs off, stand it upright. I'd build a rack for it to stand upright if you wanted to do it. But the safest way is to pull it all apart and make the buyer
put that in your listing.
Exactly.
You want them to know that they have
it's going to come in parts.
Yeah, put it back together.
So,
Brooke asked about the nightstands. I actually meant on pallets for both. Yeah, you can totally put them on the same pallet.
Yeah, I would. I never, for nightstands, I wouldn't ship them in 2 separate pallets.
We've shipped 2 pieces of exercise equipment on the same pallet. Yeah. So it's
going to be way cheaper to pay for the one pallet
versus 2.
Exactly.
So,
definitely on one pallet when you're shipping that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay those extra fees when you don't have to.
No. I think we're caught up.
Cool.
If I miss any, I'm super sorry.
Awesome.
So, just to kind of go over, how do I calculate my profit on eBay with all the fees? So we talked about, you know what you bought your item for, and that's a huge piece of it, is buying your item.
All your money's made in the buy, guys.
For sure.
All of it.
So, and then selling it for what comps are, and then knowing you're going to pay around 13% of that to PayPal and eBay.
Yeah.
And that's how you can kind of figure out what your profit's going to be, and whether or not you want to list it locally for a little bit less. So that's kind of a good determining factor. Like, am I willing to take this a little bit less if I sell it here? Or it might be something that's a lot better to sell on eBay. So, but cross posting is the best too.
Yeah, for sure. On both categories. So cool. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll wrap it up.
There's one more. I think on Ron asked about the pool table. When you let the buyer know about the disassembly of an item, do you do that through the listing description, or do that through an email? Nope,
through the description. That all has to be done before
before they buy.
Sell it. It's got to be in the description that the item will be shipped, and it will be in pieces when it's shipped. That the buyer will have to have a company or themselves, so they'll have to put it back together. And like I said, pool tables are made to come all the way apart. They're made to come apart to be moved, not to be moved together, because a lot of them are too wide to go through a doorway, unless you tilt them up on their side and take the legs off. So yeah, I always do everything in the description. Make sure the description says, this is going to come in pieces, so you will have to reinstall it or assemble it, reassemble it when you receive it. So that's going to be the easiest and the safest way to ship it too.
Yep. I think that's it.
Sweet.
Thank you guys for hopping on. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So,
you guys rock.
A holiday too.
Yeah.
So it's a holiday weekend.
Hopefully you guys have a great week. Sell a lot of stuff, find a lot of stuff. It's getting better and better for sourcing right now, guys. Not only are there amazing deals out there to be had, stores are opening back up, thrift stores are opening back up, flea markets are opening back up. So it's going to be a good summer. You're going to find some great deals. And they are selling still. We're selling good stuff. People in Flipper U are selling like crazy. So we're always excited to see everybody who is selling stuff, and it's still moving. Stuff is moving around, so that's great.
Yep.
So
yeah,
awesome.
All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good night.
You guys rock. We will see you back here next week, same time.
All right.
See ya.